Are you ready for pain? Are you ready for suffering? If the answer is yes, then you're ready for
The Running Man for the Amiga 500, because it really sucks. But we like a bit of nostalgia at Brand X Reviews, so what the hell, why not review this? Roll the intro. Hello and welcome to Brand X Reviews. In this one I'm going to be looking at the 1989 game The Running Man for the Amiga 500. Now the game was a movie tie-in game, obviously tied in with the film The Running Man, which came out in 1987. It was a film with Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's a very good film. I seem to remember my mother getting this on videotape around about 1991, so I was about 10 at the time, which you could argue is a bit young, but still. I seem to remember anyway, she got it fairly cheap from Woolworths back in the day. So, as I say, this was one of my favourite films. It was pretty cool to have a computer game that tied in with it as well. Anyway, the film was released in 1987 and it was based on a Stephen King novel that he wrote under the name Richard Bachman. It stars Arnold Schwarzenegger as Ben Richards. The film is set in a dystopian America between 2017 and 2019. In the film there is a television show called The Running Man where convicted criminals, known as runners, must escape death at the hands of professional killers in the hope of winning a full pardon. Ben Richards is publicly framed for the murder of a large number of food rioters at the beginning of the film and is then known to the masses as the Butcher of Bakersfield. Hated by most, he's conned into appearing on the show as entertainment basically for the tired masses. He must face a number of stalkers in order to survive. If anyone remembers the old TV show American Gladiators, or the British version, just Gladiators, it's a similar concept but to the death, and the contestants are criminals. It's a theme seen in other films such as Gamer with Gerard Butler. There's of course The Condemned, which was a film with Stone Cold Steve Austin, a similar theme. I think most famously recently, or most successfully, has been Death Race with Jason Statham. Similar concept, TV show with prisoners that have to battle to the death to win their freedom kind of thing. So the film came out in 1987. 2 years later, in 1989, a computer game was released on a few platforms, including the Amiga 500. The game was developed by Emerald Software Limited, who did the Michael Jackson Moonwalker game, and it was published by Grand Slam Entertainment. As you might have seen in my Batman game review, my older sister bought our Amiga 500 back in 1991. As I recall, the version of Running Man that we had was a pirate copy. I think by 1991, Emerald Software, which was based in Ireland, had actually gone bankrupt already, or at least that's what I've read online when I did some research. Now I do remember at the time being very impressed by the intro of this game in terms of sound and graphics. It took digitised video and audio directly from the film itself, as you can see.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, start.
From my understanding, this one sequence occupied practically one full 800k diskette of the 2-diskette set. At the time, this sequence was often left playing on a loop in computer shops as an Amiga feature demonstrator.
I'll be back.
The graphics in the actual game weren't all that great though. Again, I do recall the occasional sound effect in the game sounded like it was lifted from the film directly, such as the noise that Sub-Zero made when he fired his explosive ice hockey puck. It sounded identical to me. Something about the look of the game seemed to resonate true to the cinematography of the film, to me anyway. You also feel a sense of depth in the way the background and the foreground moved together. It was pretty impressive for the time that it was made. The music was also pretty cool. One thing that I will say about this, in the highly negative, was that the controls were clunky as hell. At times just non-responsive. I can't count the number of bollockings that I got off my mother for swearing whilst I was playing this. And that bastard dog in the first level used to drive me mad, not to mention that goddamn ledge. Jump, you piece of shit.
Jolie, stop swearing!
Sorry, Ma. Now, I do recall a handy cheat that a girl at school once taught me. If you enter the word disc, spelt as case sensitive, as I've spelt here on screen, at the high score screen as a name, this gives you unlimited energy, basically. Pretty handy, anyway. Now, the first level sees you up against a character called Sub-Zero. It's pretty good that it follows the chronology of the film. Just in terms of the action scenes, the latter half of the film, that would be. In terms of the people that you face off against, that's the order that you see them in the game. So as I say, the controls are pretty tricky and so slow here, you have to get your timing just right. This led a lot of people to quit the game immediately, never to return. It was pretty notorious for bad controls, but once you've bossed them, you can easily finish the game in pretty much under 20 minutes. Sub-Zero appears pretty quick, and you literally kick his ass here very easily. And that bloody dog. I liked how elements from the film were used in the game, like the mounted cameramen and the ICS logo. I really got a feel that the developers at Emerald had actually seen the film, because I know that sometimes that's not the case with movie tie-in games. So you get past Sub-Zero and those bloody dogs, and you move on to the next stage. Well, I say you move on to the next level, but between levels you have a puzzle to solve which resembles the scene in the film where the computer expert on the side of the rebels hacks into the TV network system to obtain an uplink code. Again, it's pretty cool that they have a tie-in which shows that the developers actually had some understanding of the film and some knowledge. But you have a minute to crack the puzzle anyway, which I think restores your health. I say I think. I've only ever played this game with the unlimited health cheat, so it's never really affected me, to be truthful. Level 2 in the background has taken you outside of the studio now. You have a weapon in this one, well, a brick, that you can throw. It does come in handy. You also get health kits, which replenish your energy if needed. Some of the stage gets a bit confusing, like this bit here. What are we doing here? Are we jumping? Nope, crawling. Okay. Whoa, shit, it's Buzzsaw! Hey, it's Buzzsaw! Did you see that? Buzzsaw touched me! Anyway, you fight him and that bloody dog. Die, you Whoa, oh god, that's just nasty. Next we get Dynamo, the phallically challenged moron with a battery up his backside. That, and he can also fire electricity bolts at you. Now, it's like in the film, he has his armoured go-kart thing that he can run you down in, so if you time it just right you can jump out of the way though. You can also pick up a club with nails in it to use against him, if you can get near the bugger, that is. Come on, ah! Got you! Damn it, I dropped it. Get in there! Yes, he exploded. Not exactly like in the film, but satisfying nonetheless. Also note the in-joke here, Emerald, which is the name of the company that developed the game. Level 4, we're back indoors again, and guess what? More bloody dogs, oh come on! Jesus! Oh, guess again, it's Fireball. This guy comes complete with a jetpack just like in the film. Similar to Dynamo that we just saw, but this one can fly instead of having a car. Now you can use a trash can lid in this one, which doesn't seem to defend you, but you can give Fireball a bit of a wallop with it, so it's okay. Note the billboard in the background that reads Grand Slam, that was the people who released the game. Right, I've had it with you goddamn dogs. Sorry, but you had that come in. Right, so now the game pauses for a message from our sponsors. Look, Captain Freedom, does that mean he's next? Well, the next level kicks in and finally it's the end boss. Damn, this one's going to be pretty hard ass. I mean, he's back in the studio now. I'm thinking it'd have to be the Jesse Ventura character, Captain Freedom. I know he didn't technically fight him in the film, it was a CGI job, but it still has to be him. Although, why is the Stalker's energy so low? Oh, okay, security guards. Well, get out of my way. Oh cool, now I have a gun. I'm guessing that if they've given me a gun, I must be up against a real tough guy. No, just more security guys. Eh? Who's this? What? Ah, right, it's Killian, the corrupt game show host. But he doesn't seem to put up much of a fight in the film, he just gets thrown into the thing at the end. Well... Oh, okay, well, I was hoping for something more, but I guess we can roll with that. So Killian pops out the other side in the little pod thing and smashes into the billboard that's got his own face in it. Pretty good ending anyway, it's just like the ending of the film. So to sum it up, it's a pretty good game in terms of nostalgia, but at the time the controls were really terrible, even by those standards. There were a lot better games that you could play, and as I said in the review, it was really frustrating to play this thing. Those bits at the beginning were especially difficult and notorious, and I took a lot of pleasure reading on other people's reviews that they had similar problems, because I do specifically remember that it was a real nightmare to play. But like I say, it's good from a nostalgia point of view. If you're a fan of the film and maybe a collector, I know I'm a bit of a collector. I even own the soundtrack, the score album, which was done by Harold Faltermeyer, who did things like Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2. Trying to think what else he did. Tango and Cash, I think, is another one that springs to mind. So a very kind of electronic score theme to it. So I guess you could say the music in the game kind of sounded a bit like that too. If you could make a case for that. But as I say, if you can get hold of this game or play it on an emulator, I'd probably recommend it just for the amusement side of it, but it is very difficult in terms of controls and it will drive you nuts. So just make sure that if you're going to play this, your mother's not around to hear you swearing, because it's really goddamn difficult.
Swearing!
Sorry, okay, I can't help it. Right, anyway, that's the end of the review. Check back brandxreviews.com. That is the website. We've got plenty of other reviews. Haven't really done that many game ones so far. It's mostly films, so we might do some more game ones in the future anyway, see how popular they are. If there's a demand for it, I'll do it. But as I say, if you want to check back, there's going to be plenty more reviews and news and retrospectives to come. So that's the website. If you want to leave comments, let us know what you thought. You can do that on the YouTube page or on the website itself, so feel free to do so. Thank you very much for watching.
That's the ticket. No pain, no gain.